Hey ladies, so today I'm going to walk you through 5 different kinds of notebooks that I believe every woman over 50 needs in their rotation for creating a joy-filled life. Now, as a paper girly, obviously I love a notebook. These are 5 of the ones that I've discovered bring me the most joy. But first off, there are 2 reasons I'm making this video. One is to simply tell you why I use these notebooks. And 2, so you can get an idea of the kind of videos I'm going to be making in the future. They're going to be different every single time. I'm going to be highlighting one of these books and how I'm using it that day. Different themes, different ideas, chatting about whatever I'm feeling passionate about that day. Full transparency, this has been a learning curve as I've struggled to figure out exactly the kind of content I want to make. And honestly, I think I was a little too influenced at the beginning and made videos that were just another version of what I like watching. And those videos I like watching, they are amazing. So I had to get the courage to try something new. And I discovered that I enjoyed making the last video I posted so much more because it felt authentic to myself. And it looks like it resonated with a lot of women. And that is ultimately what I'm wanting to make. Videos for women like me. Women that like paper, women that love to journal, women that like to sit down and have a good old chat session. So if you're wanting tutorials, sorry, I'm not your gal. There are thousands of ladies out there that are chef's kiss at teaching planner techniques. I'm just here sharing what I do. And if you get some inspiration out of it, great. So happy for you. But mostly, I just want to share my passion for the life that I'm living as a woman of a certain age that just happens to document it on paper like a lot of women enjoy. If that sounds like something you'd like to join in on, welcome aboard. Let's get started. So the first notebook that I think that every woman over 50 needs for creating a joy-filled life is a commonplace book. And if you're new here, I have a whole video that details what my plans are for the future of this notebook. So go and check it out if you're interested. I'm just going to go over this one really briefly. This is my commonplace notebook, and I'm still in the process of learning all about commonplace notebooks. But what I am learning is that for me, it's acting as a permanent, curated book of my personal knowledge. It's serving as a personal time capsule, so to say, that's fostering emotional connection through memories. Memories like writing down song lyrics or quotes, anything that reinforces my identity through the knowledge that I seek out. And it's boosting my mental health in a general way because it's exercising my brain. So this is the first book that I think is so important for a woman, especially a woman of a certain age. The next book is a physical memory notebook. A memory book or a scrapbook. Mine is my Hobonichi cousin. And I think that this book is important because it provides a tangible, creative, therapeutic way to preserve my life. It gives me a place to store mementos of my stories, of the places I've been, the things I've seen, mementos for my kids, maybe even future generations. I don't worry about these memories getting lost in the digital world. Now, don't get me wrong. Obviously, tech is amazing. Tech is what allows me to share this with you. I'm just talking about how I enjoy the benefits of having a tangible book that if the digital world gets a glitch, I still have my physical paper memories. It also serves as a brain-boosting hobby for me because it enhances my memory recall as I gather and glue things down. And if you're like me, it brings us a lot of joy because of the creativity aspect of laying it all out. And let's face it, the older we get, the more places we go. Often it's because we finally have the time. We have less responsibilities. To me, more time equals more experiences. And one of my favorite parts of any experience is a token from that experience. And this is a book that I memorialize each experience I have. And I think everyone has a unique life filled with personal experiences that should be cherished in this way. The next book that I wanted to share is why I think a gratitude notebook is number 3 on the list. And a gratitude notebook is important because at its very core, it shifts my brain's focus from the negative to the positive. This is my gratitude journal. I basically put in something every single day that I am grateful for. This requires me to live in present moment experiences. If I know I have to find something at the end of a particular difficult day to write down, it changes how I'm looking throughout my day. It can change my whole attitude if I'm consciously trying to seek out the positive. I also find that by consistently recording what I'm thankful for, it strengthens my relationships with the people in my life because it reminds me to always try and look at the positive side of life in every situation. And by doing this, inevitably, it helps to build my emotional resilience. Now, trust me, there are days when I really struggle to find gratitude. And on those days, I simply write down, I am grateful. I get a fresh start tomorrow. Ladies, gratitude is gratitude. It doesn't always come in a fresh linen smelling silk box. If that is all I can be grateful for, so be it. It's about practicing being grateful. That's the key to this book. The next notebook, number 4, is a personal notebook, meaning a diary. This is my diary. It's a sterling ink common planner. No, it's not. It's a complete common planner. And the way that the complete is laid out, it's brand new this year, is that it is laid out with the month up front. Then you hit, let me get this here. Then you have your week, and then it goes right into the days. And it goes the days of the week, and then goes back to the full week. And then goes back to the days. And it continues on like that till the end of the month, until you hit the next month. And so it goes month, week, days, week, days, week, days, week, days, and then back to the beginning of the month. And it goes like that consistently through the entire book. So there's not all this back and forth, back and forth. You just continually write down through the book. I love it so far, but it's new to me. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, the reason why this one is so important to me is because it is my brain dump book, a brain dump for all of my personal thoughts. Because unfortunately, I tend to sometimes be a reactor, meaning that sometimes to my detriment, I will react before I process. So a diary is essential for me because I find that I really need to process every single emotion that I have in order to foster some mental clarity for me to have more self-awareness to cope with some situations. And honestly, ladies, I think this stems from, well, a couple decades of feeling the pressure of always needing to make, split decisions, those decisions that come with being a mom. And Lordy, momming is a tough gig. And now that my kids are grown, I look back and I'm so happy that I was able to be in a position to be a full-time hands-on mom. However, not having the weight that being a daily household CEO entailed on my shoulders, holy cow, I cannot believe that I got through all of that. But one of the reasons that I think that I did was because I had a private space to process my thoughts and manage my emotions. And this is that book, my diary, my brain dump book. I think every woman needs it, needs a little private little spot that she can write down things, the good, the bad, the super, super ugly. That's what goes in this book. The pages that I have here are just, kind of really nonsense. It was just things I was starting out. But as the year progresses, basically when shit gets real and I need to write it down, this is the place that I go to write it down. Enough said. That's why this is number 4, a personal notebook, a diary. is so, so important to me in order for me to live a joy-filled life. And then my fifth book that I think is so, so important is a junk notebook. And okay, ladies, if your first instinct is to say, nope, not for me, thank you, but no thank you, Mitzi, please hear me out. Let me explain why this is probably the most important book that I have used. So, the basic premise of a junk book, a junk journal, a glue book, whatever you want to call it, is simply to glue paper onto paper. Now, some people just glue in actual junk, like junk mail or packaging from stuff that you pick up during the day. I happen to have an affinity for fast food wrappers, or, when I go to, say, the T&T grocery store, stickers from Trader Joe's, that kind of stuff. If it's paper and it happens to be laying out as a freebie, I'm probably going to grab it. That's my thing. This is just stuff that I have thrown into a box so that when I decide that I want a junk journal, I will pull it out. Sometimes I'll use stuff like this. Sometimes I'll use fancy stuff like this. That's the basics. There is no way to mess up how you proceed with a junk journal, because everyone has their own style. For me, in my junk book, I just glue in things that bring me joy. I do it when I'm inspired to do it. No other expectation except the joy I get from paper and an old school glue stick. And while your first thought might be, well, that's pretty cute, Mitzi. I get why you like it, but that's not really an essential book. Hold up. Listen to me. For me, it is. And be warned, ladies, I'm going to get passionate about this one. Not because it's the prettiest, not because something in this book is of value or that it adds value to the actual book. It's the value of what this book signifies to me that is the value. It's because this notebook saved me from myself, because it taught me one of the biggest lessons that I needed to learn in the past few years. This book acts as a therapeutic, hands-on way for me to practice not being perfect. Because I have lived so long feeling like I had to live my life in the constraints of perfectionism. I wanted to be the perfect girlfriend, the perfect wife, the perfect mom, etc., etc. And I know we all have a list that has plagued each one of us through the years. And the joy that this list has robbed from me, I'm done feeling like I need to be perfect. One, because I discovered it's a lot of BS. I will never be perfect. And two, because it is exhausting. And I'm tired of being tired. And guess what, ladies? The world has not stopped since I decided that for once in my life, I'm going to put a little energy into putting my needs first. And maybe that isn't the perfect answer, but I said what I said, and I stand by it, and I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life. It took me 53 years to get to this point, to understand the value that I bring to the world just as I am, and what I can offer to those around me without feeling like I have to be perfect. That me just trying my best is good enough. And this junk book is my reminder that it doesn't have to be perfect to be valuable. It doesn't have to be perfect to be beautiful. It's beautiful because it evokes joy. And joy is powerful. Joy is an eternal state of being that provides strength. Joy gives me purpose. Joy is the only way I want to exist in my life. Ladies, these past few days have been so exciting for me, seeing this community of women gathering together here with me. I just started this journey 3 months ago. That's 12 garbage pickup days. I never imagined that anyone would really be interested in what I had to put out there, let alone care about anything that I said. So these last few days have got my head spinning. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new here, I'd love it if you'd like and subscribe and join me here again. And if you're one of the ladies that discovered me this past week, thank you so much for seeing something in me that brought you back to my little party of one here on my side of the screen. Thank you for your comments. I do try and get to each one that I see. I love getting to know a little bit about you and seeing how much we have in common being women of a certain age. I don't know what I'll share next. I don't know if any of these books that I shared today will add any kind of value to your life as they do my life. But the one thing I do know is that I wish you joy today. Until next time.